I got to go look for my luggage.
What is your name?
Oh, I'm Suzanne Edwards, and this is my mother, Janelle Edwards.
Suzanne, you're from Austin.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the trip down.
The trip down, I don't even know where to begin. It's been a lifetime in a day. We started off this morning at 5 o'clock, climbing into the back of a truck, navigating and commandeering the rubble and the death around us, and now we're back here in Houston, Texas, and I still haven't processed it. It doesn't even feel real quite yet.
Tell me what it was like down there.
It's just the most devastation you can imagine. If you can imagine all of the legislative buildings in Washington flattening in one fell swoop, that's what's basically happened in Haiti. I mean, all the meaningful structures have gone down, and surrounding them is thousands and thousands of either people who are too afraid to go in their homes for the instability or who are now homeless because of the damage. And so it's just devastation without the means to recover, really.
What about the victims? What kind of conditions?
The injuries are the most horrendous I've ever witnessed firsthand, definitely, from third-degree burns from head to toe to limbs that have been severed from the damage again and the collapsing buildings to internal injuries that have caused many of the deaths. And I mean, it's head injuries. We don't know about brain damage and whatnot, but now is the time for amputation. The gangrene is setting in, and so the need for surgeons is tremendous to go and help before it's too late, because they could die if they don't get the amputations they need.
See a lot of kids, more adults, or a little bit of both, or what?
It's really a young adult. We were surrounded by mostly young adults. We didn't see many above 40 years old. It was a lot of 20 to 30 or really 18 to 30, and then their children. So lots of kids and lots of young adults.
What about how are they reacting toward the Americans? I mean, the ones that are hurting, the ones that are out in the street.
They're the most gracious, grateful people we've encountered. I mean, we were astounded by the civility, even in the midst of chaos. We went to the hospital the night of the earthquake, and we were just basically doing triage, and their considerateness and thankfulness was just awe-inspiring. So no, they're very accepting and happy for the help, and yeah.
The help. I mean, is it coming in strong? Is a lot of it coming in the airport situation?
Right. None of the help is coming fast enough because of the compromised infrastructure, and that was always going to be the case with Haiti. But there's a lot of stalling at the airport and the different ports of entry right now because they can't get to the roads, they can't get in trucks because the infrastructure's just crumbled. What little they had has crumbled. And so I know help is trying to get to ports of entry, but getting from ports of entry to the people who need them is a problem. And so they're very understaffed is the mild way of putting it.
What kind of aircraft are you seeing at the airport? I mean, military mostly, a lot of American?
We saw Black Hawks today. We saw large U.S. Air Force carriers, and we assume that they're landing and depositing supplies. We also see small, charter flights, which is how we got home. And so it's a combination of huge military planes and small charter planes.
Would you find a charter out of there or what?
We through Michelle Burrier's business partner. He somehow got us connected to a USA Aid charter flight, and we just got on that manifest somehow, and it was the last one out, so we were very lucky.
How much sleep?
The tremors are still happening all the time. The tremors are constant, and so sleep is rocked by the fear that maybe it'll be another earthquake situation at any minute or a really bad aftershock. And so but the emotions are high right now because our hearts are still very much in Haiti. We would have loved to have stayed and given our hands to the hospital, but when the opportunity came up, we decided as a team what was best for the team.
What about, you said as far as the aid coming in, quite a bit of moving slow.
Actually, we could see team members getting out. We see tons of media. We see more media getting out of the airport than we do.
People having problems with passports getting in and out.
Well, people are showing up at the airport without a plan. They have flight arrangements. They're just going in the hopes. People who have U.S. passports, and that's Haitians who have been naturalized citizens and also American-born citizens. It's just everyone. It's just like a ton of people trying to get in this tiny little keyhole. And no one's really letting anyone in, and there's not a plan. There's not a plan to process people trying to get out right now. Not at the airport.
The time you were there, I mean, the kids you saw, the adults you saw, anything that you can remember in your head. One of the main ones that you always remember. Is there anything there?
Yeah. The Doctors Without Borders had set up a clinic downtown at their office because there had been I think an explosion at a gas station nearby, and that scene, that emergency care scene was horrific, and but it lit the fire under our ass. Excuse my language, but because it was the full head to toe burn.
Yes.
And it was also bodies, the deceased that were strewn everywhere, and so that was probably the most intense that we were surrounded by.
Okay.
So I mean that scene will probably be with us.
That might be
and motivate us to really follow through with our plans to help from here.
Now, the victims, are they still working on injuries? Are they moving some of the dead victims?
Okay.
Right now, we let us at the only point that we left, bodies were still on the street. I know there is a plan to move them to a mass grave, but it's still dead bodies piled on sidewalks with sheets, basically. It's just that have been graciously put on them. I don't think there's a plan to have them covered, but so there's a plan in motion. We did see a large crane that was shoveling bodies and trying to at least clear the main traffic ways, but it still hasn't been done yet. The moving of the bodies.